Hello and good morning again. This is Colleen with Cards by Coco, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I come to you from Kalama, Washington. So I just realized that the entire video I just recorded, holy smokes, did not have any real sound. It was completely broken up. So I'm going to give this a go again. I understand most people probably won't bounce back on, but let me just say a heartfelt thanks to all of you who hung in for that other video. So I'm going to go ahead and demo this card again real quick. It'll be very similar, same conversation on down the line pretty much as the one we had before. Anyway, this seems to be my week for 2 takes at a time. Goodness, the same thing happened with YouTube earlier in the week. So let me go ahead and flip you around. Let me show you what I've been working on my craft table, which is, you know, one of my favorite places to be. This is February's host code. I always appreciate it when you use that. If I am breaking up this time, can somebody let me know? Just say, oh, Colleen, there's something wonky with your internet. You know, there was yesterday too. Yesterday was a horrible internet day here in Kalama. We've had rain, snow, ice, you name it. This has been the week. So I had the earpiece in last time, and I'm not going to use it this time because it might have been a connectivity issue. That's kind of what I'm thinking, but I'm not sure. I'm just not sure. So I'm going to hopefully not yell into the phone, and if I'm yelling, just turn down your volume. Anyway, it's been a day. Anyway, so we're working with this fabulous, nothing's better than stamp set and dies. Let me show you these dies. They are so much fun. I showed them in my last video. I cut them all out here so you can see how they cut out. But then you can see how things line up here. So we've been talking so much about that great joining special, and the celebration comes to an end, and oh my gosh, on the 28th of this month, it's just right around the corner, right? So look at the little chocolates here. How cute is that? And the coffee cup and the drink and the cookie. And then you have all the words too. But anyway, we've been talking about so much of that sometimes it's easy to forget about the annual catalog. And this annual catalog actually ends this April. And there's so many great stamp sets in it. And for people who are taking advantage of that joining special, don't overlook our annual catalog. So the Nothing Better Than stamp set you'll find on page 20. I personally love the retro look of this. I just love it. Oh, good morning, Mary Ellen. And in the back, this annual catalog, Stampin' Up! Had not been naming the dies and the stamp set the same. So the dies are actually called Love You More Than. If you're getting this, I would get both. I honestly would. You don't need both to create a beautiful card, but I definitely would. So speaking of celebration, and again, hopefully the sound is coming through this time, and I'm sorry if I'm yelling into the phone because I don't have the earpiece in. Anyway, more ways to celebrate. I showed this in the other live video without the sound, pardon me. Anyway, card kits, ribbon, punches, embossing folders, decorative mask, designer series paper. Eden's Garden Bundle is free with a $100 order. Holy smokes. So lots of great products, plus what was in that mini catalog. So before we get started, I wanted to show you some of the samples I made. And this is the one I made. We've eaten the chocolate. This is the one I made to give out for Valentine's Day. You make everything better in chocolate. You know, those of you who follow me know I like to use one stamp set. I don't tend to mix and match. Every now and then if I need a different sentiment, I will, but I really like to use the one stamp set in dies and not bounce all over the place through my craft room. Anyway, this was super cute. If you had given these out for gifts in the office, or you could actually adhere a piece of basic white back here. and sign your name and decorate it a little bit more. Everyone I handed these to knew who was giving it to them, so this was fine. This card I really pretty much took from Jackie Bullhouse, the Clump and Stamper. She made these adorable note cards. I changed up my designer series paper because her video was from a while ago. Put the back on. I really pretty much just copied her design, and I just think these are fabulous note cards. Today's plan, consume coffee. That's always my day's plan. And then I made these a while ago for a party. They're little easel coaster cards that you use your circle dies or whatever kind of die you have. You could, again, if you didn't want to sign the inside, you could add another piece of basic white on the back. But I think these are fun for like placeholders for parties or just to add in a gift bag. You make everything better. And then friend. You could mail it in a note card envelope, would work out great. But I think those just turned out super cute. So I hope, again, the sound is working. If not, can somebody let me know? I hate to waste people's time. You know, I like to give you all the measurements so you can screenshot them. So here they are. And I'll also say them out loud, and I will have them blogged before the end of the day. But go ahead and take that quick screenshot if you want. Again, my blog is Cards by Coco, and it's kind of my hub where I keep everything. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Just gonna take it out of my way. So this card base is standard. It's gonna open this way, and it is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Very standard card base. This is that fabulous Dainty Flowers designer series paper. Oh, look, that toothpick stuck there. I was gluing things. Dainty Flowers designer series paper in our mini celebration brochure. I don't have too much of this paper left. If you have followed me for any length of time, you know that I like to use up all of my designer series paper before the new catalog comes out. Because my husband usually comes in and asks me if I'm hoarding paper. And then this piece here, our basic white layer, is 3 inches by 4 inches. I went ahead and stamped these. This is just petal pink, and I'm going to show you how we did it. You just need a scrap of petal pink. You need another scrap of your rich raspberry to do your word. And we're going to go ahead and we are going to start some stamping. My hint that I gave in the last video that you might not have been able to hear is to go ahead and make sure you just pop your stamps back in the case as you use them. Mine, since I've already done this video once, mine are kind of everywhere. And the reason why I suggest that is there are 26 stamps in this set. 26. That's a lot to keep track of. In fact, I lost the little star one in my carpet earlier this week and had to search and search and search for it. So 26. So make sure you put your stamps right back. So the reason I did this earlier, because I kind of wanted to see where to put my drink glasses. So these are what I'm using for my sentiment, and I'm going to be doing my drinks right here. And I also die cut out cocktails, and I'll show you how I did that here. So I just wanted to kind of have things placed so I had an idea of where I wanted to put my drinks and start that. So that's what we're going to do. And then once we're going to do some stamping, and then once I have these stamped in place, I'm going to move everything out of the way and we'll go through the process together. I just need the first one done. Ta-da! Let me move everything out of the way, and we're going to do the second one. You could, and on this one, I actually stamped them, die cut them, colored them in, die cut them, and everything else. And I decided this time I wanted to try and just stamp directly on the paper. So that's what I'm doing. Thank you, Joan. And can you hear, am I coming through okay? Am I breaking up like last time? I hope not. I was so disappointed when I went to listen back and realized that you couldn't hear anything half the time. anyway, we're gonna use our little stamp here. This one here with little ice cubes. How cute is that? We're gonna use that one to fill in our drink. On this one, I use the petal pink to fill it in, but I'm gonna try the fresh freesia, and that's what I did last time to give it more, oh, thank you. To give it more of that pink lemonade-y, is lemonade-y a word? That pink lemonade look. I love lemonade. So for me, that's what this is. I don't, let's see, holding my breath. Oh, turned out good. It's so hard. Normally I get right over the stamp sets, but don't want you to have to look at the top of my hair. So let's see. Oh, well, that's not very good. I think we might have to do that one again. Yeah, it's just too much on an angle. We're just gonna have to flip this piece of paper around. Thank goodness there's two sides to every piece of paper, and I know where I want to stamp those glasses. My goodness. Do you all ever do that? Are you just kind of like, you know, every now and then. There we go. Let's just stamp these again, and I know exactly where I want them now. Perfect. And let's go ahead and restamp this. And I'm using the Fresh Freesia, which is a retiring color this year, which I'm so disappointed. Oh my goodness, that one's worse. All right, we're gonna stick with that side. I don't know how that happened. That one's actually worse. But anyway. Oh, thank you, Joan, for hanging in on the last video. Yeah, like I said, our internet has been a little crazy here. I think it's because of the weather we've been having, and we live outside of town, and I think that's the other thing. You know, sometimes when you live rurally and the weather takes a turn, you know, just things happen with the internet, right? So anyway, here you go. Here's your umbrella stamp right there. And I have it on my block. And I'm going to use Rich Razzleberry, but I'm going to stamp off once and do it again. I am very matchy-matchy. I like when things match. I'm that way in my house. I'm not kind of just that way across the board. I'm big on matching. Some people have a real eclectic taste, and I absolutely love when I go to their houses and see how things come together. That's not me, though. I need everything to kind of match. All right, so I am going to go with So Saffron for my lemon. And let's go ahead and do that. And then let's do that. I always have to remind myself that it's, you know, they're not Hallmark cards, which are beautiful cards. You know, they're handmade. And so for me, sometimes I have to remind myself that not everything has to be perfect. So I'm going to put the cocktails down in here. And those of you who watch every video know that I use the silicone mat and a little glue dot and a toothpick to adhere my things. I did show in my last video, so I want to show you two again if you're watching. Two other options for you. Stampin' Up! Does sell the, and I have some sparkly paper attached to mine. I'm down to the tail end. We do have these fabulous adhesive sheets here. And if you wanted to bounce your sentiment up on a dimensional, we also have these foam adhesive sheets that are very sticky. So you could, if you wanted this cocktails to pop up, you could actually put a foam adhesive sheet underneath it, you know, and cut it out in your die cutting machine along with that. And that would work out super, super well for you. So let's go ahead, and I am going to just use my toothpick here and dot here, which doesn't take but a minute. And this is my actually preferred method to, even though the adhesive sheets are great and everything, this to me just goes very quickly, and it doesn't take, you know, but a minute. And this is just kind of my preferred method to, if I'm making just 1 or 2 cards. I think if I was making Christmas cards, I'd probably go with those adhesive sheets. But, you know, for just a quick 1 card, I would tend to probably just use this. And I actually put mine on an angle. I turned it a little bit this time, so it's not as straight and it looks a little bit fancier. And this time around, I did find the little dot for the eye. And I'm going to actually put my little glue right there on my piece of paper, grab my tweezers here, just because I'm all thumbs. And I am going, and I apparently still am all thumbs. And I am going to go ahead, maybe, it's looking a little tricky, and pop this down there so we can dot our eye. Oh my goodness, maybe. There we go. Ta-da! Finally. Now, I want to grab my rich raspberry ink again and my star. The stamp that was lost in my carpet earlier this week. It was so funny. I could not find it. I had to crawl around on my knees, my hands and knees, what seemed like an hour looking around for it. Anyway, oh, let me close the door. So Lucy, our lab, she is so funny. She had the zoomy something terrible this morning. She was bouncing all over the place. The deer are starting to come out into our yard more. So that's been fun, but she's been a little crazy because of the deer. So all I did for our words because I wanted to make my own, is I stamped them at the base of a piece of petal pink and then just cut around them. So just that easy. I just felt that it was easy, it's fun, it doesn't take a lot of work, and I just think that, especially with all the people who are taking advantage of the joining special, and there's so many new stampers, and I think sometimes people get impatient because they want all the things so quickly, that I really just use what you have, enjoy your love of paper crafting, and you can make super easy tags just by stamping, and just grab your paper trimmer and, oh look, I put that star right underneath there. Now I have got to grab it and put it somewhere else. That's okay. Anyway, grab your paper trimmer and just enjoy. Just enjoy the process. So I am popping these up on some dimensionals here. Now I did think that it would be maybe fun to do a bunch of layers and outline the pieces I'm working on in black. I think would pop really well against this Fresh Freesia base, or this Fresh Freesia cardstock. And behind the white, but I mail so many of my cards, I'm trying to not use as many layers. Okay, so this one goes on an angle like this. I feel like this is the week of 2 videos for everything I do. The whole week I feel like it's been a do-over. Do you ever have weeks like that where the whole week you're just like, oh, need to make that over? And really it has honestly been the whole week. It has been the week of like dinner's okay, but it's not been real good. Like it's just been, I need a do-over for everything this week. It's been the craziest thing. Anyway, and I started a new cross-stitch project. I talked about that in the last video. I started a new cross-stitch project, and that's been fun too for you fellow cross-stitchers out there. So if you're real fussy, go ahead and kind of line it up and see how you want it. I'm not an overly fussy person unless it comes to the stamping. Like this part's probably going to bother me. I'm going to be honest. I'm probably going to have to remake this card when I'm not on camera just because that will probably drive me crazy. But anyway, so I did start, I make the cross-stitch Christmas ornaments. I do a lot of craft shows, and I got a new cross-stitch set, and the ornaments are beautiful, but I didn't realize the Aida count. So for those of you who don't know, that is the fabric that you actually cross-stitch on, and I didn't realize the Aida count was so small. I thought it was a little bit larger. So although these are, yep, that's lined up well. So although these are absolutely beautiful ornaments, and I'll show you as I get them further along, you know, I feel like I need a magnifying glass. So anyway, these are gorgeous in color gems that are retiring soon. I'm so bummed to see this fresh freesia color leave. So anyway, and I'll finish the inside of this card later. You know, keep your white panel, and the measurement for that is 4 inches by 5 1/4, but that's gone from the other video. So tell me, what do you think? Fresh freesia or petal pink? In the other video, I said I actually like the fresh freesia better, but now that I'm looking at them both completed side to side, I like the petal pink better. It looks more lemonade-y to me, which apparently is going to be my word for the day now. It looks, I like this one better. And the stamping's right on this one. Anyway, but I do kind of like this one better. I think it bounces off that fresh freesia a little bit better and coordinates with our tag. So anyway, I hope you like this stamp set. I hope you like today's card. I hope the sound came through this time. And I hope you all have a wonderful day and a good weekend. Thanks so much if you popped in again.